right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Because it's time to write now.
Welcome to the Right Now community. Today, you found yourself in another daily writing motivation stream. We're going to be getting in some solid writing, but because it's the weekend, we're going to try to be as consistent as possible. I know I am feeling so motivated to work on my story, The Last Scarecrow. I got some mind controlling flowers, some plants, our brand new pixie who has just been reintroduced, and much more. So we're going to be doing not one, not two, but 3 writing sprints, and we're really going to be trying to push into it today. I know I've been making some solid progress this past week, but for me to hit my goal, I have to quadruple my output if I want to hit my goals in February. So we're going to be hopping into it. But first, welcome to the Right Now community. I'm Kaufman. I'm on a mission to help the writers with the process, lifestyle, and mindset that it takes to be an author, because I just love the writing process that much. I love all of it. So come join me because we're starting right now. All right, my friends. So I have my stuff queued up on my end, as you can see. Now, for those of you who are used to my weekend live streams, we're taking a break from the critique show this weekend because I'm focusing on the masterclass, which is offline and has been sold out already, which is awesome. So as such, my focus this weekend is on the masterclass, but next weekend we'll return with the story and critique show. And then February will be launching the brand new, the start of season 2 with the Create Right Now podcast. So we'll have much more fun weekend stuff here in the community in the month of February. But today, let's get some writing done. I don't always get to do writing on weekends, and I feel like this is the vibe. I think we can do it. I believe in us. Hey, what's up, Mast? Welcome, my friend. All right, so we're going to be hopping right into it. As you can see, I have my setup. Whether you are brainstorming, writing, or editing, that is all part of the process. Come join us because it's time to write now. All right. Writing sprint done. Writing sprint done. Wow. 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 Oof, man. How did that go? Like, so first off, hopefully, were you able to get any progress on your story that time? Whether you were doing like some brainstorming or writing, I would love to hear what were you working on or what type of progress were you able to make? Drop a comment down below. I know for me, I was focused. I'm at a really interesting part with Scarecrow, Pebble the Pixie, and Crow as they have now encountered the garden, and we it hasn't been shared yet why Pebble wants to return to the garden. Granted, because they've just met her, but they've just encountered the golden wildflower. So the golden sunflower, yeah, the golden wildflower. It's like I was kind of going back and forth between the plant species. It was like kind of going back and forth between sunflower and wildflower. I might go sunflower. But they've just encountered, which is kind of this golden sunflower is kind of like this siren-esque plant that, yeah, it's basically like a siren. I think the best way to explain it is it's essentially a siren that believes that if it can control and shape any passerby into toiling along in the garden with them, that the more they bring to her cause, the more they can worship the moon, and the more their kind will be respected. It's interesting. It's a very like cult-like dynamic. It's a very twisted cult-like dynamic. And they do not worship the sun like you would think flowers would. They worship the moon. And it's a very twisted, she has very twisted philosophy and thinking, but it's been suggested periodically throughout the last chapter and a half that they've been hearing like a soft melody on the wind, and it's this golden sunflower who has their ability is musical manipulation. So their specific ability is musical manipulation, and this chapter really explores what this golden flower is really able to do. It's interesting. It's really interesting. And why is Pebble in such a rush to come back here? Because she's just been introduced. And I think that's a lot of fun because Pebble is actually looking for her brother. But she's already forgotten why she came back to the garden. She's already forgotten that she's been looking for him. So she's going to be reminded of that. And we're going to get to experience. This is probably the first time in the story that Scarecrow legitimately fails and would die and lose if it wasn't for Pebble. I'm trying to think of earlier in the story. Most of Act 1, Scarecrow manages to survive. He fails the trials during the New City arc, but it's questionable whether his life is really on the line or not, or whether that was an illusion. But I think this is the first time, and we're going to see this as a recurring theme throughout Act 2, where Scarecrow is perpetually put to the test, and he fails. And he fails pretty consistently because he doesn't have any real capability in a world full of strange, twisted, magical creatures. So it's very, very, I like love what I'm doing. Hey, what's up, Holistic? I saw you hop into the stream. Like, wow, the golden wildflower. I know. I was like, I was kind of going back and forth between wildflower and sunflower. I was like, I was kind of looking at the difference. I think sunflower will probably be better. I think from like a visual aesthetic, I think sunflower will probably work a little better from like its shape and color structure. And then I can frame it as it has this like golden vibe, this golden hue, which is super cool. So like had a storm, we good. You know what? As long as you get in your rain in, I am always a fan of the rain and of the weather environments. I know we've had a storm as of late, and I think it always creates a vibe. Now, it's always challenging if you have to like get to work and get around your city. That's when it becomes a little more difficile. But in general, I am very much a fan and vibe with the rain. So with, let's see. Let's see, where am I at? So what I'm gonna do, since the chat is a little quiet today, I'll read the character background that I have for Golden Sunflower. You guys can just tell me what you think. All right, so this is the backstory. So the golden sunflower originated as a simple sunflower in a field of flowers alongside her brother, the wilted sunflower. Question, was it influenced by passing songbirds? Maybe. When both of them were infected with the parasites of air, spirit, and time, they were granted sentience. The golden sunflower was granted musical manipulation, while her brother was granted dream manipulation. Over time, the golden sunflower became more beautiful with the sun's growth, while the wilted sunflower decayed, growing more inward and eventually leaving out of spite. The golden sunflower tried to influence animals who passed through the garden to treat their kind with care, but she was ignored and they would trample over nature in passing. And try as she might, the other flowers were needlessly destroyed. Until she realized that she could use her ability to control passerbys and put them into a trance-like state. Over time, these passerbys lost their animal form, changing into various forms of plants, vegetables, and wildlife, while they toiled away in the gardens. Believing her ability was destined by nature, she worships it and believes only the garden will set other suffering free. Now, what I've learned since I've done this, she's going to believing her ability was what let's see. So blaming her problems on the sun. She found solace in the light of the moon. Soon believing that worshiping the moon, the ever changing moon would alter nature. Let's see, and her garden and the gardens would set others free. Gardens would set others suffering free. Okay, perfect. So that was just a quick little bio on that. Awesome. So let's get back into it. I am happy with what I got so far. We're gonna go another 25 minutes. Let's see, what are we on time? It's like, actually, let's up it just a little bit. Let's go 30. I feel confident I can get some solid writing in. So I'm gonna go 30 minutes. Perfect. So let's do 30. Let's adjust Zatabana. And we're going to see what we can get for the second writing sprint as I continue on with the Golden Sunflower. I was trying to make sure that I described her character correctly. I was trying to make sure to really get that feel, because I realized something I missed in the first draft was with these creatures, with the flowers, with the things that are not animals. With really describing what does their anthropomorphic features look like in this world. So I realized that I needed to paint a slightly better description for these things. Like if I say like a flower that's walking around, of course people have different images and I want people to have different ideas, but I still want to paint an overall idea of how I envision it to be, and then people can fill in the pictures within that. All right, beautiful. So come join us, whether you're brainstorming, writing, or editing. That's all part of the process. Let's get some work in today. Let's make the second sprint strong. And as we hop into it, because I'm all ready. So let's write now. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. What a good second writing sprint. I was very, very happy with that. All right, and time for another break. So I think I was liking the direction that was going in. I'm like kind of going back and forth because I keep adding more and more descriptions and then it makes it longer, but I'm like I do kind of need to set it up in the original draft, and I'm changing the setup for this gardens, this standoff slightly. In the original draft, we had Scarecrow, Crow, and Pebble go to the gardens, and when they arrive, it's already a flutter, or it's already an active, like flowers, plants, vegetables are kind of roaming around, toiling away, and it was very, very obvious and very cheerful. And basically then after talking with them, then the sunflower starts singing, and then Scarecrow loses track of time. In this version, I played up Pebble's need for revenge a little bit more. I gave the golden sunflower a bit more of an introductory role. Um, and then I had the gardens, all the flowers coming to life when the moon comes out. So I wanted that to be a thing. And now I think the music, where I'm gonna have the music, will bring the plants will bring more to life, and it's almost like it'll be this like stepping stone, but it's cast in, it's underneath the moon, right? You would think this would happen in the sun in during the day because plants and gardens, but I really wanted it to be I really wanted it to be an alternate look with worshipping the moon. So I thought it would be actually very interesting. Yeah, it has this like very dark, it has this like dark undertone, which I'm kind of liking. I am kind of liking. So I'm gonna see how the rest of this scene plays out. All right, and let's see. By the way, and I saw a couple of you guys hop in. Adrian, it was good to see you in here. Eli, I love that you're making some progress on your book. I know you said you were planning on shortening it down. You're like, yeah, I was thinking of doing it similar to the copy of Shadow and Claw by Jean Wolfe. It's volumes 1 and 2 of the Book of the New Sun in it. Maybe I can put more than one piece in each publication. Who knows? I got to almost age 70 of the manuscript, not even done establishing the old world for all the characters yet. I was like, this may be too long for one book, right? And right, sometimes that happens, right? And I think that's why the rough draft, you have to focus on write as much as possible, get out all the core story, get out all the things that you want, because then in later drafts, you're going to refine. You're going to refine, revise. Eventually, you'll get it edited, and it's just going to be edited down a lot. Now you get to just have as much fun and craft what you want to craft. So, and I think that's part of the enjoyment of the process. And then once you have a book, whether you like want to finish the whole series before you publish or you finish in sections, then you can kind of make that decision as you go along. That's cool that you're making some progress though, friend. I'm really glad to hear that. Holistic. I hadn't realized sunflowers. They're not just yellow, but was given a very beautiful dark sunflower like plum with 2 dark eyes. Ooh, I like that. I like that. I know. I always assume that sunflowers are yellow, but that's interesting. You got one that was a plum colored. That's interesting. I like that. ML, you're like, when the moon hits your eyes like a big pizza pie. When the moon hits your eyes like a big pizza pie, you're that's right, that song. That cracks me up. I know, and we're about to introduce the singing element of this in this next section that's coming up. So yeah, I mean the singing is literally the next thing that we're about to hop into, actually. um yeah, so yeah, I think my mind just like so wrapped around this scene right now, and it's interesting because I was thinking about it, just my overall plot and my own overall goal and timeline with the Last Scarecrow. For me to hit the goals that I want to hit, I have to like triple my pace that I'm making with this revision if I want to be able to get the Last Scarecrow out in before summer. I like have to triple my pace. Like I'm probably about 35% of the way through the book. Um 35% of the way through this revision, and everything that I've done so far now is in actually a much better place. So like I'm really, really happy with what I have. I feel like now, after I finish this draft, the next draft is me probably printing it out, reading it aloud, and kind of refining word choice and cutting out things that are wordy. And then it'll be ready for me to send off to an editor. Yeah, but I'm kind of thinking through my timeline for the rest of Scarecrow, and I really I have to pick up my pace a lot. In February, I'm probably going to start working offline on the book in addition to the streams, so that way I can really get Scarecrow out. I I think it would just be my goal. It would be my goal, my birthday wish to myself, to be able to give myself the birthday present of publishing The Last Scarecrow. So I think that would be really cool. Like Eli, hell yeah, I really want to get a session together and try to figure out where the big beats of the plot will fall in each book soon. Absolutely. I always have so much fun in the past when we chatted through the structure of your story. I think that would definitely be a lot of fun, my friend. What you should definitely do is just make sure to shoot me an email, reach out, and we can always get a session scheduled on the books. My schedule is tending to pick up a little bit, so even if it's scheduled like a few weeks out, that might help out a little bit. That's what I would recommend. So that'd be super cool though. You guys know me. I love developmental stuff. I love planning, outlining, story structure, all of that jazz. Yeah, changing my thought process from it being one book to making it maybe 3 or 4. Just want to try to figure out how that affects the structure. Yeah, so then when you do something like that, I mean, and then it also depends if you think like, okay, is each book going to be like a novella length, or is each book going to be like a novel length? And then I think you have to figure out where the right beats are for each character journey, because essentially it's, if you do it into 3 books, that's technically breaking acts, but each act has to then feel like it has a standalone enough story for the A story of that act, while the overarching story is still them trying to get through the world and figure it out. So absolutely. And I'm sure that actually happens to a lot of writers when they start writing a story. And like this happens all the time where writers start on a story and then it becomes way, way bigger. That's why like it happens with fantasy authors all the time when they start publishing books and like, oh yeah, it's a trilogy. And then 15 books later. Holistic. Hey, let's imagine. Congratulations. Thank you so much. I'm like, fingers crossed, we'll get Scarecrow out. Fingers crossed, Scarecrow out. I'm putting out my intention now. Absolutely, my man. Yeah, that'd be really cool. Holistic. Like the Last Scarecrow book signing. Yes. Woo. I know when the Last Scarecrow comes out, I will definitely be doing an in-person book launch. I'm still thinking through. I haven't determined what my book launch strategy is yet for the specific book launch, but I have now developed my 5-month overarching online book launch strategy. So I've really thought through what I want the 5 months to look like leading up to and during the month and post month when Scarecrow is launched. I have a lot planned. Hopefully I'm going to have the right finances to be able to invest what I want to invest into it, to really give it that the full thing. But we'll see. We'll play it by ear. Granted, I can't start the launch strategy unless Scarecrow is with an editor. So that's why I really have to push myself if I really want to get it to the point that I want to get it to. So fingers crossed, my friends. Wish me luck. Well, we'll see how this works out throughout February. If I can pick up the pace, I might have to go a couple like all-day writing sprints. I'll probably do that. I'll probably have to do a couple all-day writing sprints and just like push myself and try to see if I can go like knocking out a few chapters a day. I think that's something that I could probably do, because even on these streams, when I've been picking up the pace this past week. Right now, I've probably been getting through a chapter in roughly about 3 streams, give or take. And I think I need to pick up the pace to get a chapter in roughly 2 streams. So we'll see. We'll get some practice in. A lot of writing for February, that's for sure. Eli, like I'm envisioning it as being maybe 4 250 to 350 page parts. Yeah, I could totally see that. With how much story, you have planned for it, I think that could totally be a thing. And I know with what I remember of your overall arching plot, I think that absolutely could work because I think each of the areas, tonally, you have a lot of different areas. And Eli, I can show you like something that I actually did with Scarecrow. Um, let's see, where's the manuscript? So something that I actually did decide to do with Scarecrow. I'll pull back here. Let's see, did I do here? So originally Scarecrow was designed as a three-part or as a three act. I decided to adjust it into a four-act structure. And I'm calling each act a book, which I really liked that ideology. I liked that strategy from that was used in Avatar: The Last Airbender. Really, it's just part 1 through 4, but I kind of like calling each of them book 1 through 4. I think that's kind of interesting to me. And then where's my outline? So you can see I basically broke up the different acts, you call it, into book 1 through book 4 as I'm kind of doing the planning for it and figuring out what I'm going to do. So this is kind of how, kind of like my strategy. And we'll see. We'll see. I think it just sounds cooler calling them books. I haven't decided if I'm going to title the books the acts themselves, but I know it's going to be 4 acts. Originally, it was 3 acts, but I kind of realized that the first half of Act 2 and the second half of Act 2 tonally are just so different. Which is good for storytelling, but from a book structure, it just made sense to break up Act 2 into two halves. Yeah, it just made way more sense. Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, I like 4 acts more than 3 as well. Feels more natural for a book as opposed to 3 being suited well to a movie. Yep, completely agreed. All right. And then on that note, for those of you who want more writing techniques, if you want more writing techniques, writing tips, ways to improve your author lifestyle, you should sign up to The Art of Writing. This is my newsletter where you will receive weekly writing tips, writing articles, stories, exercises, and other things that the Right Now community is doing. It's very cool. I've done a good number of newsletters now, and I just dropped the submission link down in the chat. It's also linked down in the YouTube description. So go sign up to the Art of Writing newsletter if you want to have access. Also, the Art of Writing newsletter subscribers also will receive the weekly live stream schedule directly to their emails, directly to their inboxes before the stream schedule is posted on social media. So if you like to show up to the streams and maybe you got a busy job, that way you can kind of look at the stream schedule and be like, hey, you know what? This is a day that I want to show up to. I like these events work for my schedule. That way you can plan ahead. So highly recommend go sign up for the Art of Writing if you are not already a subscriber. All right, my friends. And with that, let's hop into writing sprint number 3. And let's see, what are we on time? All right, let's do it. So we have 22. So let's do 35. All right, so we're going to up the time again. And we're going to do 35 minutes this time. I believe in us. Let's end. Wait, what the heck? Why did it go 32? All right. So this time we're going to end off this next sprint super strong. We're going to make a little bit of progress. I believe in us so much. All right. So let's do it. All right. And let's see what craziness okay, let me see. I want to see if I can at least finish up this introductory part with the flowers, with the problems that our heroes are trapped in. So I am all ready. Come join me, whether you're getting brainstorming, writing, or editing. That is all part of the process. We're going to hop into the third writing sprint because it is time to write now. All right, my friends, writing sprint complete. Writing sprint number 3 complete. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. We got in some solid writing today. I want to say what we did 25, 30, and 35. So we did, what was that, about an hour and a half of writing. Awesome. We got some solid progress. I know I was able to get through that first part of the chapter. I'm probably maybe about 40% through that chapter. And I still need to pick up the pace. So I need to figure out what I am going to do. I'll probably focus on finishing it tomorrow, hopefully, and see what I can get through. I got to the melody part, which is really it's kind of like the only song in Scarecrow, but it's actually really integral to the theme of the story. So I'm going to have to fine tune that song and make sure it works. But I'm glad I was able to get through Scarecrow. Were you able to make progress on your writing? I hope you were. Whether you're brainstorming, editing, or writing, I really hope that the writing sprints helped did the trick for us today. Now, as we look towards creative writing on the morrow, I'll be back tomorrow with another daily writing stream, same time, same place, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, a little earlier this weekend because of the masterclass. So we'll get in some more Sunday writing, and we're just going to push ourselves and keep making progress now that we're in February. And if you enjoyed the stream, tap that like button on your way out. Help us show the algorithm that writing streams are cool, because they are. Thank you so much for joining today. It was a great little writing session, but unfortunately, that brings us to the end of the stream. Don't forget, words are wind, but stories are forever. I'm Kaufman, and I'll catch you on the morrow. Stay creative, writers.
Right now.
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 Because it's time to write now.